third Saturday in October has arrived, and Alabama versus Tennessee face off in a ranked matchup with a lot of stipulations for both of these teams. Both of these teams being one-loss teams, both teams that I don't think they expected to lose to. So it's a weird situation in which this win can really turn around both of their seasons and or solidify both of their bids to the college football playoff. So today, I'm going to take a peek at some things, predict some things, look at some numbers, facts, figures, things of that nature. And of course, I'm going to ask you in the comments to let me know who you think's winning this amazing SEC rivalry. But first things first, appreciate y'all watching these videos. As always, y'all are phenomenal. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it, subscribe if you enjoy college football content. Let's hop right into it. So first things first, I'd like to pull out a few stats. Apparently, college football's top cornerbacks. Obviously, you got Alabama's Domani Jackson right there. I just wanted to point that out. And of course, 15 Power 5 defenses that have held every opponent below their season average. You see Old Tennessee right here. Look, I don't have to tell you that this is going to be a matchup where there's going to be a lot of numbers, a lot of big numbers out here, a lot of star power, a lot of high-powered offense. We'll see who shows up and who doesn't show up. Let's get right into it. First things first, we're going to talk about, of course, just straight up. Let's look at the profile of these teams. You know, let's see what a pimento chicken sandwich looks like. Looks like the books have a close victory for Alabama with 3 points. It looks like the matchup predictor is also pretty even here at 54-45. I'm looking at these total numbers here in the last 5, something I like to peek at. You got Jalen Milroe on a tear. I'm doing what he needs to do. Some people say his Heisman road to the Heisman is done because of the Vandy loss, but I mean, I think he's being able to respond pretty decently. When you look at the cold hard facts, it's not bad either. 12 touchdowns through the air with 4 interceptions. Not the worst ratio. And for Nico, a guy who was really highly praised and thought it was going to be able to be a consistent, explosive unit through the world of college football, seems to be struggling in a statistical way. He seems to be not as explosive consistently as we've seen now. It's okay because that running game is amazingly explosive, and that defense is amazingly suffocating. So maybe it doesn't matter as much, but I would like to see more from the young quarterback, first season starting. You know, he's got a lot to live up to. So I just want to see more from him. 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. I would like to also see the offensive coordinator, I don't know, make things a little easier for him as well. Him being an advanced guy doesn't mean we have to make everything advanced. I'm not even saying Heupel is making things too advanced. I'm saying, you know, let's how do we even ease it even more for this young kid? You know what I mean? So that's just my thoughts there. Mr. Miller with 51 carries, 360 yards, and 5 tutters. Mr. Sampson, though, going crazy. Sampson, and don't forget Simpson, the other back there is pretty good too. They got a pair of backs in Tennessee, 118 carries, almost 700 yards. 15 touchdowns halfway through the season. That's amazing. The sensational Ryan Williams. Did you know he was 17? The sensational Ryan Williams, 576 yards, 6 touchdowns. I believe that's top 15 in total receiving yards. So that's not bad. Mr. Thornton for 295 and 3 touchdowns. Now, last 5 matchups for both of these teams look very, very interesting, very peculiar, if you do say so. A historical Alabama team in which if they have an embarrassing loss, they come at and whip the other team, and the SC definitely was that team to do so. They come out and they were really, if South Carolina wasn't so dysfunctional and kept giving Alabama chances, they win this game. And that's crazy to say. This isn't no smoke and mirrors. No, they were doing this and they came out a wildcat. Nothing like Vandy, where Vandy's running like a bit of a wing tee pistol. Like it's a, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of options. They got a lot of things moving. They've got a lot of motion. It's a type of offense that in the modern day of pro style offense at the college football level, it can be perceived as gimmicky, right? But I don't think it's gimmicky, but it can be perceived that way because not a lot of people run an offense like Vandy. That's not what you got from South Carolina, dog. It was just a bunch of dogs out there. And they just need to execute better. I want to see more from Lenore Sellers. I want to see more from Nick Harbor. For my college football 25 people, dude's 99 overall rank, 6'5", 99 speed, 99 acceleration. One of the fastest people in the country, just based off of his sprint stats. So I want to see more for those guys. But regardless, a disappointing South Carolina team makes you look human. It's not great. And then on the Tennessee side, you see this explosive offense just not looking as explosive as you would hope it to be. And obviously, everything goes through this running game, and the running game is really what powers this total offense in Tennessee. So I would like to see them do that. Take a look at the history of the win in the 3rd October. The third Saturday in October. Looks like 27-21. Alabama does lose. Sorry, Alabama leads 60-38 in 8 ties. Home record 33-17. Away 27-21. I believe this is away in Knoxville as well. But you can kind of see the history here. Of course, the last time that they've beat them, Tennessee beat Alabama, was in 2022 with an amazing win back there. But then after that, it's just Alabama, and then the last loss before that was Saturday 21st, 2006. So I know Tennessee fans really want to make this a time where they can change that around. Looking at the cold hard facts and figures from both of these teams is one of the best things to look at. These are both elite. They're going to have elite placements on both sides of the ball. I mean, that's just what happens when you have 4, 5, 17 stars right across the the list here. But going right into the Alabama offense, number 8 in points a game, number 24 in yards a game, and number 2 in points of play. So very efficient. Yards of play, number 7 at 7.1. Third down conversion, they are a top 30 team in third down conversion. Y'all know me. If you're watching my videos, I think that's a core integral part of what determines a win in a game. That third down offense versus the opponent's third down defense, continuing here. Fourth down conversion, number 7. So that's good. Number 73 in red zone scoring. That's something that I don't want to see from an elite offense. You see they're pretty elite in every single category. If we're going to be struggling in that red area, that goes to show some of the biggest woes of this Alabama offense is the fact that it seems to it's a sputtering when they just can't capitalize off of drive. This is a team that struggles with finishing drives. So I would like to see that if they can finish some of these drives. This is one of the most dangerous. I mean, you can see by the numbers, one of the most dangerous offenses in the nation. Defensive side, always going to have an elite defense in Alabama. They're going to fall backwards into a great defense. Number 33 in opponents' points per game, opponents' yards game 36. Even though this is the bottom tier of of the top. You know what I'm saying? This is top 40 for both of these. Top 15 opponents' points per play. Top 15 in yards per play. Very suffocating there. Third down, opponents' third down conversion top 15. It's good to see at 30%. And then number 55 in red zone defense. Now, when we go to the Tennessee side, I want to go straight to third down conversions. Boom, 51. So we're dealing with you don't want to see that. So we're dealing with a mid to top of mid red zone offense when it comes to these Tennessee Volunteers versus a decently potent what's it called? Third down offense. An elite third down defense in Alabama. And then we have an elite third down defense. This defense from Tennessee is the heart and soul. I'm telling you, everything drives through this defense. They are amazingly physical. They're suffocating. They're large and in charge. But a number 7 third down converting defense in the nation against a third down converting offense, which is top 30. It is top 30, but definitely puts people in a particular situation. I think that's going to be something to kind of look at, because if they can't convert third downs and they get caught in some weird particular situations, I don't trust this Alabama offense to be able to bounce back in that situation. But we'll see if they can get them on the ropes like that. From the rushing statistics from this Tennessee this is in I didn't even finish the full offense. Sorry. Points a game, number 17. Yards a game, number 28. Number 22 when it comes to points of play. Yards of play at number 39. We talked about third down conversion being not the best. And then number 57 when it comes to red zone scoring. So both of these teams struggling. And you can see in Tennessee's point totals, they're winning these games by These are defense. I mean, obviously, but besides these two, but these are defensive games. I mean, hey, Josh Heupel said he took the foot off the gas. You only score 14 here, and then we only scored 23 here. Like this is not the offense that I think a lot of people prescribed and thought that this was going to look like for them. So interesting to see from them. And then we go to the Tennessee defensive side. Again, elite, top 5, top 6. Opponents' yards a game, points of play, just amazingly elite. 7, like I talked about, in opponents' third down. Red zone scoring, number 7. So we're dealing with a red zone, a struggling, middling middling red zone, what's it called, offense against an elite red zone defense. Y'all gotta watch out for that. From the rushing statistics, this is an elite rushing attack here at Tennessee. 27 in yards of play, number 6 in rushes a game, and number 4 in rushing yards a game. They rely heavily on it. That defense against the rush is number 2 in yards of rush, number 72 in opponent's rushes a game, which again, that's just how much they want to run against them. And then opponent's rush yards game, number 6 in what they allow. And then for this Alabama offense, this is going to get basically a mid-tier in all shapes and sizes, a mid-tier a rushing attack from this Alabama offense, number 35, 34th, number 70, and number 42 in those particular categories. When you come over here to the defense side of the ball, again, a decent offense. Decent rushing defense at number 48, number 23 when it comes to opponent's yards rush a game. So I think this is going to be an interesting matchup here. I think this defense is capable enough to do it, but also Vanderbilt has shown you how being able to just eke and drive against this Alabama defense is not only possible, right? But that's just kind of how you break the will of this defense. This is a breakable defense more than I think defenses of Nick Saban's past, or when Nick Saban was at the helm. So Vandy really showed that if you just stay on it, if you stay consistent, if you keep converting those third downs, if you keep staying ahead of schedule and keep driving and make these long drives and take the ball out of Jalen Milroe's hand, it's going to cause some issues for this team, because again, it's not that they're not capable, but I just think this is a team that can get beaten up a little bit, and they've been even over the past few years, they've been kind of relying on a decently explosive offense. And this offense still is explosive. But if we're putting this defense in a peculiar motion, no one's been able to drive and stay on the field this long with an Alabama defense as of late. So that is their biggest issue. They need to get off the field. The more they can get the ball in that in Jalen Milroe's hand, the better for Alabama in this matchup. Looking for passing statistics, again, just a middling to rough a passing check. And look, they don't even throw they throw a pass at one of the lowest clips in the entire league. So when it comes to production, I don't think we can blame Nico, because again, he's not really getting as many throws when it comes to it because of how explosive that I think rushing game is. So maybe I need to recoup what I said, and maybe it needs to be, we need to get him in rhythm. Maybe I said the wrong things. I thought it was about simplification. I think it's a simplification just to get him in rhythm, get him throwing, and hopefully get this to a point where it can be a threat, because it doesn't really seem like much of a threat. They're top the mid-ish with completion. 62%, that's not terrible. Yards of pass 27, 110 in passes a game. Again, that's just how much you throw it. Pass yards a game, of course, because you don't throw a lot. And then interceptions thrown, number 59, quarterback sacked. I mean, Nico's not having a fun time back there at 104 ranked from the offense. And then the pass defense side, we got the pass completion at 76, opponent's pass yards 19 when it comes to opponent's pass yards a game. Interceptions throw number 80, and then they don't really get they at a mid-tier level they can get after the quarterback because of those big dogs on the defensive line. But it seems like this secondary is not the strongest part from these Vols. And then when you go on to the passing side here, this is an explosive passing game. Even though they don't throw it much, when they do, very effective. I mean, we're at a 72% clip. Jalen Milroe is number 3 in completion percentages. That's pretty phenomenal. 10.8 in yards passes a game, again very low. Number 33 in pass yards a game, so that's pretty good. They're one of the lowest throwers, but still top mid-ish of the league when it comes to how they consistently generate yards. Interceptions thrown, not great. We need to take care of the ball better. And it looks like Jalen Milroe also not having a fun time back there in the pocket. And then from the defensive side, we're dealing with a middling, even though number 16 in opponent's yards of pass, and then number 38 in completion percentage, a middling to top of the mid, 52, and they need to get some more sacks because they're at 55, the top part of the mid out of the 130 teams in college football. Man, I really think Alabama's going to win this game. I think that, like I talked about, even though I think this defense can give Jalen Milroe problems, I think that it's so explosive that I think they're going to be able to bend this Tennessee defense enough, even though I think, and I talked about how this Alabama defense is a little bit more malleable than ones of recent. I really do think that in this particular circumstance, the way that Jalen Milroe has been playing, the way that Ryan Williams is playing, the way that they do seem to be quite explosive still on the offensive side of the ball, if that defense can kind of shut out Nico and shut out that run game for a second. Really shut out that run game because I think Nico would take care of itself. He's been throwing some weird picks. I want to see what happens if they put the game on his arm. I want to see if he can do it and if he can execute it. I would really want him because I think he's a great player and I think he's going to be a great player. So let's see what that looks like. Let's put the game on Nico's right arm. If you're Josh Heupel, let's get some RPOs going. Let's get some things. You know what I'm saying? Let's get him in motion. I would love to see that. If that happens, I think it's going to be a long day for Alabama if Nico really gets cooking, but I don't see it. I think they're going to still rely on that run game, and I think they're going to be able to mitigate. Because if you can't be explosive, that's the thing about Vandy. Vandy was doing what I was talking about, but then you also go back and think about that fourth down heave interception throw. Like, you have to have some explosion just to keep the points there, right? You're gonna have to get some turnovers and do some different things to if you want to beat this Alabama team. Just because they are down or not Nick Saban, that doesn't mean they're completely terrible. So I'm thinking a low scoring affair at 21-17. And Alabama gets it done. But you gotta let me know in the comments what you're feeling. Who's gonna win this game? What's the score? Like this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Tell me what I'm wrong in the comments. Did you subscribe though? Are you here? You watched this far? Go ahead and click the thing with the bell and do all that stuff, man. You be phenomenal. We'll see you next time.